I would have had my little experiment that would have gone nowhere.
That's true.
And then I would never have had cause to say, what are you doing? Why are you aging in reverse?
Oh, yeah.
Which would then not have inspired me to go all in on carnivore.
Oh, my God.
It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show.
Well, a warm welcome to you all. I'm JJ. I'm a life coach, and I eat mostly meat.
I'm Eric. I'm a novelist, and I eat mostly meat.
And I also do youth theater.
Yes, you do. And you had a shocking discovery recently.
I really did. I was going through some old theater files and I ran across an audition from January of 2020 where I was teaching the kids a little dance segment for their audition.
And what did you notice?
I noticed that I looked quite plump. Now, I knew that I was carrying extra weight. That's actually eventually why I sought a new doctor. But I had no idea that I was as plump as I was. I mean, it was really shocking. It's one of those wake-up calls.
So this is March, end of March of 2025. When was this video taken?
January 2020.
Oh, so 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Yeah.
Well, that kind of makes you think, doesn't it?
Holy cow, does it make me think.
Because you didn't start carnivore until October of 2022.
Correct.
So you were on that trajectory. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you went, whoosh,
I did.
and you took a sharp right turn.
I did. So basically, I knew I was having issues. I'd had a lot of hormonal issues in my 30s. Well, my whole life, but especially my 30s was when it hit me really hard. And I experienced some weight gain in my 30s. And I experienced really bad fatigue and depression, light depression, major fatigue. And so as we moved into this decade of the 2020s, I saw that I was headed in that direction again. Part of it was the weight gain, but I was really having a hard time with sort of having some days of the brain fog, some days of the fatigue. I was just feeling feeling my age, because we expect that to be normal aging where you're just kind of not operating optimally. And I knew it was a hormonal issue because I'd experienced that in my 30s as well. So I did start looking for doctors. It took me a little while to come across one. I had a false start with one. Mm-hmm. And he really introduced me to the idea of these metabolic issues as part of the whole hormonal cascade, and told me that I needed to get my insulin down, basically.
So you were 49?
Yes.
In that video?
Yes, 49.
And do you have any idea what you weighed?
I don't. I'm guessing I was in the 150s for sure.
At 5 foot, nearly 4.
Yeah, 5 foot, nearly 4. So yeah, I'm sure. But I think even more than just the weight, because that was near my highest, but I got close to 160. I was about 157 at my highest. So I was probably in my 150s, but the puffiness, I mean, the inflammation is what I think is shocking, because I look heavier than I am in there, I think. You feel like you can't say anything. But what you've said in the past on these videos is that you didn't think I was really that bad either.
The weight goes on gradually.
Yeah.
And so you just don't really notice it day to day.
No.
But when you came and showed me that video, mm-hmm. I had to have a reaction.
Yeah. Yes. Probably similar to what I had.
And my reaction, let's put that on YouTube right away.
Well, it's fascinating. I've heard people talk about how they've got that photograph that they're like, oh my gosh, this is a wake-up call. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have it back then. And so it just amazes me that, here I was. I probably looked at that video at that time.
So now we're confronted with this alternate reality, right?
We were, yes,
In
we
the
were talking about that.
multiverse of infinite Earths, there's one where in October of 2022, JJ goes carnivore.
Yes.
But there's another Earth out there somewhere where you just kept going straight on the way you were going.
Oh my goodness.
And so flash forward, that person skips carnivore and goes to 2025.
Oh,
What do you think your state would be now? Hey, please like and subscribe and let YouTube know that JJ and Eric Carnivore is a good channel for people who like this kind of stuff.
well, I've lost 30 pounds on carnivore, which means I was 30 pounds heavier. And I think I would be, that gradual sort of middle-age weight gain. I think I would be 40 to 50 pounds heavier total.
Over that 5 years.
Over that 5 years.
That's
Instead of-
possible.
Yeah. I think I would have still kept going a little by little and had gained 10 to 20 more pounds. And I very much think I would have been classified as pre-diabetic or diabetic at this point.
By this
point, yeah. Now, again, the real JJ, even the one who didn't do, even if carnivore hadn't come into my purveyance, that would have definitely been a wake-up call for me in some way. Yeah.
And then you would have found Dr. Barry and you would start now.
But yeah, I think I would be pre-diabetic or diabetic. And just, again, the quality of my life, because I know that path. I've been that path of just needing to sleep a lot. And I was taking regular naps.
Yeah.
I would tell you I had buzzy brain, which I think is inflammation, honestly, in hindsight, where I would have to go lay down and not even nap, but just let my brain, I could feel it like buzzing, and I'd need to just let it calm down most days. So I think I was definitely moving toward that fatigue mood issue. Like I said, I saw it right there and was trying to prop myself up with a lot of supplements and so forth. I was having pretty bad allergies at that time. My skin, I would get these breakouts of rash on my face. I couldn't really wear any makeup. My eyes burned all the time. Like they felt like they were burning out of my head every day of my life. They were really uncomfortable. And I'd not really found any solution to that. There was no eye drop that was helping. And, I wasn't really using any cleansers or anything that were contributing to that. So my allergies would continue, and I don't know where that would lead. More discomfort.
Yeah.
I snored quite a bit. And even now, when I go off plan for a meal, I will snore that night.
Instantly.
It's like...
It's a tell.
It's a tell. It's a barometer.
Yeah.
But I wonder, obviously that creates sleep issues because I would wake myself up snoring. Just literally the noise of me snoring would wake me up. But I'm wondering if I would have moved into a sleep apnea type situation, especially if I did gain that extra weight. And I was having I have an old ankle injury from a car accident in my 20s. And it hurt so much and would constantly move out of alignment. So I was considering at that time whether now would be the time to have a surgery on it, hopefully corrective. I know that's risky too, but a hopefully corrective surgery on it. But the ankle doesn't really bother me much now at all. So, but yeah, just feeling again that sort of headed toward middle age, headed toward that pasture type of situation, because I was getting more and more tired, more and more brain fog, more and more achy, just not able to live a really vital life.
Contrast that now to your current state of endless energy. I would say bordering on manic sometimes.
I would almost agree with you. Yes. Yeah.
And, we have a lot more stuff to take care of with this new property, this house, and having the energy to do it was one of the big question marks when we were considering buying the place. And we're like, yeah, it's going to actually motivate us to be active. But would we be able to actually do all of the things we want to do if we had continued down that path.
Well, I had exercise intolerance, like for decades, and that means if I had too much activity, whether it be exercise or just in life, I would need some days to recover. So I know that if we were working on this property, even if I could do the things, there would be quite a bit of recovery afterwards. So during the busy seasons, it would have been a real struggle to keep up. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think, the things I do for work and for pleasure, as far as like the dance, the youth theater, I don't think I'd be doing youth theater. We were considering closing it down anyway back then, but we all decided to keep going. And here we are years later, and I actually have the energy for it now. Yeah. Like even back then, rehearsal would start at 6 and go till 8. And at 7:30, that was kind of my cutoff time. Mm-hmm. So now I don't have that issue. So I'm able to give a lot more energy there and to continue doing it. And then I've done some pretty major work projects in the life coaching area too, that I'm hoping are impacting other life coaches in the organization. And there's like, I could not have taken on, those are some big, big projects. I could have never taken those on.
Well, I think in terms of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is really what's important.
Well, there's many facets.
Yes.
Having you be in a good mood, cheerful, optimistic, energetic is a very different version of you than I think there would be now had you stayed the old course. Mm-hmm. Because you would now be depressed and no energy and probably down the diabetic road as well. Mm-hmm. And who knows what other health complications would have developed.
Yeah, yes.
But I also remember October of 2022, I did carnivore for half a minute. Mm-hmm. You started and continued. Had you not started it, I would have had my little experiment that would have gone nowhere.
That's true.
And then I would never have had cause to say, what are you doing? Why are you aging in reverse?
Oh, yeah.
Which would then not have inspired me to go all in on carnivore.
Oh, my gosh.
In which case, all of my problems would now be another few years deeper and making it even harder to dig my way out. Mental health, my body composition, heart health, acid reflux, IBS, all of those things. So your decision to go carnivore impacted me dramatically, which is a feedback thing to you.
It is, yes. Yes, it is. And yes, because my quality of life when you were having the worst of your issues was impacted as well, obviously.
Yeah, it was miserable for everybody.
Yeah. But holy cow, I didn't even think about that part of it.
Well, here's the point that we're trying to make is that if you're carnivore curious, you're always at a crossroads. Every day is a crossroad. You can make a decision to make the right turn or left turn, whichever one you want to take, and get off of the current trajectory. Get off of the current path that's going to lead you deeper and deeper into problems and make one that's going to start to get you out of it. The beauty of carnivore is that it comes with some quick results and then some long burn ones.
Yeah.
And I think that it's actually really nice because you can get some benefits, whether it's maybe you can get some quick weight loss. You can certainly get some quick reduction in inflammation, probably improvements like in blood pressure, for instance, or A1C, you would see improve pretty quickly. And then there could be other things that could take a year, 2 or 3 or 4, but you're making noticeable wins along the way. Mm-hmm. It actually encourages you to stay the course to get those more distant ones. And so here we are 2.5 years later into carnivore, and we have completely different lives. We've changed which timeline we were in.
Yeah.
And we're now in the one where we're the heroes and we're victorious.
Of course. But even if you're off, you went off the path, maybe you've done carnivore and moved away from it. It's the same type of thing. This moment is a crossroads, and which future are you going to choose? And again, we don't have total control over our future, but I do know that this present day that is happening now because of our decision 2.5 years ago is a completely different reality for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is impossible to overstate how important this dietary change has been for both of us.
Yeah.
Which is why we have a YouTube channel about it. So we don't care which timeline you're on when you join us here on our YouTube channel. We just want to be role models and show you what ours is like. And if you are feeling maybe you're ready to make the change, it's time. If you're not, if you're like, I just don't think I can do that. I don't think I can eat that way. Well, maybe it's not time yet. But keep it in mind, because at some point, like both of us, you're going to hit that breaking point. There's going to be a time where you either get a wake-up call from the doctor or you get a wake-up call from some other run-of-the-mill course of life where you're like, I should be able to do this. I should be able to get onto the floor with my children or my grandchildren. I should be able to get back up off of the floor. I shouldn't have to worry about my A1C for the rest of my life. And so you can jump to a different timeline. And we want to be with you when you do that. So please like and subscribe. And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, every day you're stronger.
Every day, more blessed.
JJ and Eric, their lipids are high. Their doctors are worried they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from the tallow vat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss out the lettuce, embrace the beef glow. It's the JJ and Eric